Hello, everyone. I'm Madelaine Gomes. I'm a doctor in metaphysical science, a pranic healer, a mindset alchemist, and a business coach. I am an executive contributor for Brains magazine, as well as one of their 500 top influencers. So today I want to talk to you about my own journey and how I started a program called I Am Possible. Because I believe that none of us ever believe we are possible until we are pushed into a corner where we actually find our strength. We're forced to find our strength and become I am possible so that we can get out of the situation. And we can do it in such a beautiful way without being pushed in a corner and really heal and alchemize our past as stepping into our way of becoming I am possible. So today I want to talk to you about my own journey that brought me to I Am Possible. So I was a director of a top 10 company for 20 years, developing people for major companies in Durban. When my company got targeted by a crime syndicate, and I had to leave my home and my business and flee to Cape Town for the safety of my son and myself, I lost everything that I worked for. That catapulted me into the dark night of my soul for 6, 7 years. I didn't want to see anyone. I put myself into hiding. I was so angry and so full of resentment and bitterness and hatred. I wanted to be invisible. I went from absolutely being in a newspaper all the time and very well known to hiding. I didn't want to see the world. I didn't trust people. And all these emotions clocked up my inner architecture of who I was. And then I became bitter and resentful and full of hatred, which affected the bit of relationships I had left, which affected the quality of my life, and it affected my health. It affected my money, and it affected everything in my life. And I was stuck in between the in between stage of life, in between this past and the future, too scared and fearful to move forward into a future, stuck in the past with all these negative emotions playing off every single day in my mind. And without knowing it, recreating the past emotions in my body for me every day. In other words, reminding my body about it and recreating the emotions was like my mind believed that it happened again and again and again. So it became reinforced and reinforced, and eventually it became me. So when I spoke, I was so angry. People didn't know why I was so angry all the time. I didn't feel I'm angry, but I was angry. People felt I didn't connect to them or with them, and I didn't. But I thought I did. So these emotions has a way of sneaking up on us and truly and seriously taking over our bodies, our emotions, and we start to act like that is the body we're in. We breathe life into them and they become who we are. And that is why I'm so passionate about my program called I Am Possible. It took me 6 to 7 years to get out of that and more time to rebuild my life. That's how serious it hit me. Because just before that, I lost my brother, my husband, and my father. So this was like the cherry on the cake of losses and emotional trauma and pain. I felt lonely. I felt ashamed. I felt all the negative emotions that I should never have felt because I was actually unsupported by, I was supported by my mum and a friend, but unsupported through the systems. Because if they didn't kill me, there was nothing they could do, although they all told me I'm in danger. And that is the sad part, and that is the part that made me so cross. Is the letdown of the support that I needed to safeguard what was mine. And they were so connected that even now, looking back, I would get nowhere anyway because I didn't have those connections, which fueled my anger. But let's start to talk then about the healing side of it. I am sure you all know you come from a background where somewhere in the past you had a traumatic experience, or you grew up with in a traumatic environment, or you grew up with abuse, with alcoholism, with domestic violence. Over and above the mindset that's been created or conditioned for us through schooling, through our church, through our communities, through our environment, that we are not good enough unless we are first in the class, in the first team, or whatever it might be. The conditions were there, otherwise you felt not good enough. So the not good enough started at a very young age. No matter what I did, I never felt good enough. Although I took an adult role on at the age of 7, I always felt not good enough. Not good enough cooking, not good enough cleaning, not good enough of anything. So can you imagine how that enforced my self-belief system of I am not worthy, I am not good enough. Although all of that took place in my life, I was extremely successful in my career because it acted as an outlet for me, for what really, for the strength that's really in me, for the potential and the greatness that was really in me. But in my emotional life, I could not bring that forward. So I had one disappointment after the other in my emotional life, which eventually broke me into pieces. So today, I'm a transpersonal coach, helping people to get their pieces of life together that they've given up on, their dreams that they've given up on, because they've given power to all these negative emotions that happened into their lives, to all the negative traumatic experiences that created these emotions. I specialize in that because I know what it takes and I know how it feels. I work with CEOs, directors, movie directors, executives, private clients, and I've learned that we all experience life at that level. It happens to all of us, not just to some. But none of us really know how to navigate our way out of it unless we find somebody that specializes in it. I believe today that I had to walk this journey so that I could experience every single step of it on my way to healing so that I can help others. I literally had to go to Koch University and really get a degree in every negative emotion and what it does to our bodies. I was shown through mystical experiences what it looks like inside our bodies. When these negative emotions collapse our energy pillar that's holding us together and that's feeding our abundance in every area of our lives, that collapses when we hold on to all these negative emotions because there's no space and no feeding towards the positive and your inner pillar, and we only feed these emotions that starts to take us over. So the beauty is you can solve the problem, but you have to get rid and deconstruct all these negative emotions before you can rebuild your energetic pillar within you that feeds your relationships, your abundance, your creativity, your voice, your self-esteem, your heart center, which involves your relationships. Before any of that can happen on a higher vibrational level, we need to alchemize the past, heal the past, deconstruct the pain, and allow all the new that we want to come in and become part of us. And only then will it show up in our lives. And that was the journey I had to walk to realize this is how it works. I've put a 7-week program together, but it should actually be a 7-month program of alchemizing your pain into gain, of understanding what happens to you, what happened to you, and to deconstruct beliefs that's attached to those experiences that's now tripping you up. These beliefs are stopping you from stepping into your greatness. I'm so passionate about this when I talk that I trip over my words because there's so much to say about this. The healing process is not an overnight process, but I can guide you towards your greatness. We will start with deconstructing every single experience or belief that's attached to your past that's holding you back. Because when you look at them through a different lens, you will be surprised within your cracks, there's wisdom that you have not tapped into. We need to tap into that wisdom for you to move past the cracks and fill your cracks up with liquid gold, because they are worth gold in your life. Once we've done that on this program, we move into stepping into your purpose, identifying your purpose, and stepping into your purpose, deciding with this in mind, how is your future going to look like? Who is the future you? What do you want to achieve? What you are working on? What are you creating? What are you building for yourself? Because that forms the foundation of your new beliefs and your self-esteem. So then the next step, once we've done that, is working on the self-esteem, which is a map on its own within our bodies, an intricate map. But this self-esteem map forms the foundation of all our outcomes. If we are believing in ourselves that we're not worthy, we will not be able to manifest abundance or love, or even amazing relationships. We will manifest what we believe we're worth. So it's so important to pull this pillar up and get to the manifestation of your self-esteem, because that is your map to your future, to everything you do. That sets the level and the standard of your relationships. It sets the level of success in your career. It actually influences your voice, because your self-esteem gives you the power to speak up for yourself. And then we look at the heart. Expanding the heart. Find forgiveness in your heart towards your past and the people in your past. Let them go, because otherwise they have bondage over you and they're taking space up in your heart, which is the last thing that you want. You don't want them in any part of you. By holding on to those emotions, you're allowing them to take up all the space within you. And you start to act like them, because that is what's coming through. So working on the heart is a deep forgiveness exercise, because once you've forgiven and you've seen the wisdom, you actually are able to expand your heart so that you can receive again, and then you can give as well. We don't realize that when we cut our heart off because we don't want to get hurt, we're actually cutting ourselves off from everyone and everything. Nobody would come near us or love us when we've got a wall in front of us. They cannot do it. They sense it. They feel it. And they don't want to be part of it. Although they like you, they cannot feel for you. So we need to expand our hearts, forgive, open, so that we can also receive. We are humans. We need that to survive. Then we work on the voice. The voice is connected to your self-esteem. So how do you speak to yourself, about yourself, to others? What are the words that you are using? Because they carry energy. Are your words highly vibrational words, or are they damaging words? Are they lower vibrational words and you don't understand why your business is not working out or your relationship is not working out? You don't understand why you cannot manifest in your life what you like, or what you want, or what you need. It is because of the power of your words connected to your belief system and then your thoughts. The map is so intricate that it all fills each other. And if the one is off balance, it affects all of them. And that's what we don't realize when we give in to these negative emotions of the past. We don't realize that what happened and what we witness and what we experience in the past have so much power, not only over our outcomes in the future, but over our behavior and over our personality. It forms our personality. It forms our beliefs. It forms our outcomes, and then we get despondent because we do not understand why we cannot get what we want. It's because we're misfiring in between these areas of our lives. And we misfire on so many systems that it's just a muddle up caterpillar busy to become a butterfly. So this program is beautiful because once you discover your voice, which I had a problem with as well, director, very successful, but in my personal capacity, I couldn't speak up for myself. I was in damaging relationships. I was in relationships that was not serving me, and I knew it. I broke off, and I would go back because then I feel guilty that I couldn't speak up for myself. So I had to learn every single piece that as part of your voice puzzle, giving yourself power, stepping into your inner power and wisdom. And then you will be able to reconnect with your intuition, because our intuition is a God's gift to us. It's our GPS, warning us about danger, guiding us where to go and what to do. But yet we've never been developed to listen to it. We've been developed in the Western world to rather listen to others. While their GPS is not working themselves, they also feel at a loss. They're not successful anyway, but we would rather listen to them and listen to another's opinion while they're a failure just like us. And that is the sad part about humanity, is that our I am has never been activated within us. And that is what's causing us to fail in relationships, in our money, in our careers, in our relationships to ourselves, to others, everything we do. So now you have a chance to put all of that together. And lastly, we will reconnect to our higher selves. Each one of these lessons for 2 hours, 7 weeks, for 7 weeks, will have a piece of teaching and a piece of meditation in it, visualization and meditation. Because without visualization, we cannot change anything. Whatever we visualize, we become. Whatever we can visualize we want will happen. But our visualization puts the seal on everything we do. So if you want to diminish a problem area in your life, you need to visualize it to become smaller. If you want abundance in your life, you need to know exactly what you want and visualize it to become bigger. That is how power visualization is. Have you ever felt like you want a new car or a new dress or something, and you can feel the excitement in you building up, and before you know it, you have it. It just happened. Doors just open for you and you have it. You have it. That is visualization and the power thereof. That is what we will use in each and every section. So the I am possible has been designed to literally give you a new lease on life. It's to let go of the past that's not serving you anymore. It's not bringing you the outcomes that you want. It's not giving you loving relationships. It's not allowing abundance into your life. It's to let it go, alchemize it, dissolve it, dissect it, and understand it, and let it go. And then we start to reconstruct who you really are, underneath the layers of the past. Stepping into your purpose, there's an exercise where you will identify your purpose and you will step into it. I speak about this on Radio 702. And once you step into it, you can align your whole life, every area of your life, with your purpose, with your values, with your strengths, so that you always stay on purpose and you become more aware and more conscious about who you are and who you proceed to become. So reconstructing your inner architecture will give you the outer results that you want, because you are now in control of that. You're not allowing outside forces to control who you are or who you become or what you achieve. Once we go within, you are in the most powerful space, and that is your own space, your inner space, which is sacred. And you will be able to design from that sacred space for yourself. And that is beautiful, because that is the way we should do it, the way we were born to do it. But nobody knew about that earlier on. So now that we know about it, we can actually grab the opportunity and change our lives, change ourselves into who we want to become. So please join me on a 7-week program, which is absolutely transformational. It's healing. We will use science, mindset, and a bit of business in there, because when you redesign yourself and you know who you want to become, how are you going to give birth to that? Because that is a gift to you. How are you going to unwrap it and start to give that life so that you can step into your purpose and truly love every minute of your life? Because ultimately, that's how we should be. These outside negative forces that's going on at the moment, and the amount of fear that is outside of us, we have a choice of taking them on and taking them in, or just observe them, but do not bring them into your space, because you don't need to. When you are in your I am, very few of that can actually upset you. Very few of those incidents that's happening at the moment in the world will have the power to influence you, because you are driving your own vehicle to where you want it to be. Those cannot take over from you anymore. You've been there when your life was designed by the outside forces of experiences, of trauma, of conditional thinking, of what you've been through up to now. Now is the time to let go and step in and say, I am possible. I am believing in myself. I am able to design my own world. I am able to design a future for myself. And I want to be happy, joyful, and I want fulfilled relationships. So all of that starts to now take place under the umbrella of the I am possible. So again, I'm inviting you, join me for this course over 7 weeks that will transform your life and give you a new lease on life. You will feel more at peace. You will feel in control of where you're going, and fear and doubt will no longer play a role in your life. You will heal your anxiety. You will heal your depression, and you will become who you want to become. I thank you so much for listening to this video. Please connect with me for more information. And I give a 15-minute free strategy call if you wish to contact me and speak to me about your unique situation. I do one-on-one sessions, and I also do small private groups. Thank you again. Namaste.